Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are St. Louis.
Game one of the series Thursday night, and Trevor Rosenthal picked up a save for St. Louis as they made it 6 wins in a row. Last night in game number 2, the Brewers snapped their 9-game losing skid. Francisco Rodriguez had not been used in over a week. He finished it off, and it also came with a little controversy. Who was that? It's a beautiful day here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're at Miller Park. It's game number 3. The Brewers and the Cardinals coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight, it's a beautiful evening in Milwaukee. It's game number 3 between the Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. And with my partner tonight, the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And for game number 3, Al, we have a very good pitching matchup.
Absolutely. We've got 2 of the biggest winners in baseball since 2011, 4 and 5 with win percentage, and we expect a good pitching matchup tonight.
Matt Carpenter and the Iron Man of baseball. How does that fit into the game tonight? We'll tell you about it when we come back. To go today, Cal Ripken played in consecutive game number 2,131 as he broke Lou Gehrig's all-time record. Ripken is baseball's Iron Man. What about for the Cardinals? The consecutive games played list, at the top of that list for St. Louis, Matt Carpenter at 70. Then Johnny Peralta and Matt Holliday. Those 3, that trio is in the lineup tonight. We have baseball coming up from Milwaukee on Fox Sports Midwest. As we get you set for Game 3 of this all-important series. Game 2 saw career home run number 175 off the bat of Johnny Peralta in his career. Chris Davis leads the Brewers with 22 long balls. He went deep last night. Game 3 comes your way next. Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. It reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Come in and visit Mid-American Chevy dealers and make your move to Chevrolet today. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Roof is open here at Miller Park. It's a gorgeous evening for baseball. The Cardinals with a 3-game lead in the National League Central Division with 21 games to go. Pittsburgh 4.5 games out. Pittsburgh able to win their suspended game against Chicago. Let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup. Matt Carpenter will lead it off, followed by the red-hot John Jay, 4 consecutive multi-hit games, 8 for his last 14. Then Matt Holliday, Matt Adams, Johnny Peralta, Yadier Molina, Colton Wong, Oscar Taveras the start in right, Lance Lynn batting ninth and on the mound. And on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers, an old friend, spent 5 years in St. Louis, and that's right-hander Kyle Lohse.
And one thing we knew about Lohse was when he's healthy, he is one of the best pitchers in the league. 12-game winner, coming off his worst start of the season. And the one thing, we aren't sure if he's healthy. When August 2nd, he tweaked his ankle pitching against St. Louis. And then he did a little more damage against that ankle on the 13th in Chicago. They set him down for 11 days, but his arm really started bothering him, favoring the ankle. And you can see a lot of the Cardinal hitters have very lofty numbers against him.
First pitch of the ball game to Matt Carpenter is taken for a ball, and we're underway.
One of the Cardinals that really has struggled against him is Matt Carpenter, just 1 for 12.
3 for 9 so far in this series. On the road, he's 8th best in the National League with an average at .303. Here's a 2-0. Now 3-0. And when Lohse is right, we know that he's got pinpoint control.
Absolutely. And he just made the assessment of his last start. It ended up going just 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned. in a 15-5 loss to the Giants. And he just made the assessment. He said, I was just flat out terrible execution.
He has been very good at home. ERA just over 2 at home. And it's a leadoff walk.
Kind of see the way he's throwing. You can favoring the ankle, and it's his push-off ankle.
Let's take a look at the defense. Late insertion into the lineup. Brought to you by Dobbs. For Ron Renicky is Ryan Braun in right field. Parra in center. Davis is in left. Ramirez, Segura, Jeanette, Overbale on the infield. Jonathan Lucroy is behind the plate. Loesch on the mound. And again, that's brought to you by Dobbs. So here's John Jay riding an 8-game hitting streak. And out to visit is Lucroy. And again, Al, I think your point is spot on. Watching him trying to drive off the right foot, the right leg. It is the right ankle that he has issues with. He does not look comfortable.
Yeah, you can tell that it's uncomfortable. This is such a mental game. And like I said, he started, his arm started hurting a little bit trying to pitch with the bad ankle. And finally they shut him down a little bit and didn't really help. He is 3-6 with a 4.75 ERA against St. Louis lifetime, including 0-1 with a 9 ERA and 2 starts this year.
When Loesch is on, you'll see that slider, which he throws about 30% of the time, hitting spots. Out to deep left. Davis going back and makes the catch on the run on the track. And back to first goes Matt Carpenter. John Jay gave it a ride.
John Jay having quite the season, and Mike Matheny talks an awful lot. Hanging breaking ball, gets underneath it, and Davis makes a nice catch in the middle of the warning track. You can tell that when he just can't use his legs at all. When you throw all arm, you run the risk of hurting yourself.
Matt Holliday is 10 for 26 with a home run against Kyle Loesch, and that home run is still going. That was one of the longest home runs we had seen Holliday hit. Matt has jumped up to 5th in RBIs in the National League with 81. Runner at first is Matt Carpenter. That's fouled back. The book on Loesch with this ankle injury is that because he cannot drive off the back leg, a lot of his pitches, because he doesn't finish, are left up.
Exactly. And so important to have that right at the end to pop your wrist and get that free movement. That gives you the movement on your pitch without really trying.
Here's an 0-2. Kyle Loesch, 5 years in St. Louis, and he was 55 and 35 and a very good pitcher when healthy. His final year was 2012, and that season he was 16 and 3. Hit down the right field line, and that slice is foul and out of play.
I think Kyle's also pitches with a little chip on his shoulder when he faces St. Louis that felt like he should have been sought after more by the Cardinals, but with some of the young pitching coming up, you know, they let him go elsewhere, and he got a nice contract here.
But it took a while to get that contract here.
Yes, it did. He was victimized by a new rule.
Holliday strikes out. And the rule you're referring to is that if you are offered a qualifying offer, which means you're going to get paid for 1 year, a lot of money, and you do not sign, you reject it, the team that offers you that contract, in this case the Cardinals, would pick up a compensatory pick, which is what they got.
And also the club that signed you forfeits their #1 draft pick, right?
Depends.
Or a sandwich pick. Or
sandwich pick, yep. And a strike to Adams. 3 for 7 and a couple of walks against the right-hander. Let's see how Matt is swinging the bat. Dealing with a oblique issue. Check on Carpenter. Not much of a lead for Matt.
They were hopeful that they got that oblique before it really turned into something serious. So a little therapy for a couple days and back in there. He's got good numbers against Kyle. Also 3 for 7 against Kyle, but a .326 average in his career against Milwaukee.
Here's an 0-1. Fouled back. Al, you can now come up from the floor and underneath the table. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay if I come up now.
That foul ball was not near us. And if it does come near us,
you'll protect me?
You got it.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Here's an 0-2. 1-2 the count.
By the way, I mean, that was quite the ambulance ride you took on Thursday night, recovering from your foul ball off your hand.
Not sure what you're referring to, Al. Everything was just fine. One-two pitch to Adams. Here it comes. Off-speed pitch and hit out to deep right. Ball is back and it is gone. 2-0 St. Louis. Welcome back to the lineup. Matt Adams with home run number 14.
That's what the big man can do. He can put a little fear in the opposing pitchers. He's in scoring position, standing in the batter's box. He gets a breaking ball, and here it sort of hangs up. You see it just below the belt when it gets belted and over the right field wall into the Cardinal bullpen. There you go, Matt Adams. He had a home run in Philadelphia, and he hadn't hit one since the middle of July on the road. So good to see him and give that Cardinals that quick lead.
Here's Peralta. Grounds it too short. Deep in the hole, Segura. He's got a good arm and throws a strike to Lyle Overbay. The home run to break. Number 14 off the bat of first baseman Matt Adams. He's now driven in 59. Half inning in the books. St. Louis on top. Of St. Louis is Matt Adams. Belts a 2-run homer. Our key starter is Lance Lynn. And Lynn at home, an ERA that's a full run lower than what he does on the road. And he's trying to pick up win number 15 here tonight. Our Kia starter flashback nearly 5 months ago, and Lynn rolled through a Brewers lineup thanks to 11 strikeouts, his one and only game above 10 strikeouts this year.
And he's 3-1 with a 1.85 ERA in 6 games, 5 starts here at Miller Park. A win here, he'll join Max Scherzer as the only 2 pitchers with 15 wins in each of the last 3 seasons. And Lance Lynn has really been the Cardinals' most consistent pitcher in the second half.
Scooter Gennett had 3 RBIs last night and looks at strike 1. Hitting .298, 9 home runs. He's driven in 50.
Cardinal killer, too.
A broken bat hit to the right side and booted by Adams. Air number 10 on Matt Adams. Well, you just saw Gennett. Now let's take a look at the lineup. Parham and Ryan Braun, Aramis Ramirez, Jonathan Lucroy, Chris Davis, Lyle Overbay, Gene Segura, who is 3 for 4 with a pair of runs scored. Those 3 hits, infield hits. And the pitcher, Kyle Loesch, batting 9th.
Well, Matt Adams has mentioned his 10th error, but boy, has he become a defensive factor. Really is becoming an elite first baseman defensively.
Here's Parham, now starting his 6th game in a row. And he's 10 for his last 21. And he drives it out to deep right field. Taveras going back, and it's off the wall. Gennett will stop at third. Runners at second and third, and nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
Parham 6 for 12 coming in, so now 7 for 13 off of Lance Lynn.
I think the question there is why Gennett did not score if he thought this was going to be caught. Let's take a look.
This thing is running like it's a home run.
Or running like he got hurt. It is the first inning. You do have the big boys coming up, and I'm sure that's part of the thought process. Nobody out.
Yeah, but a guy nicknamed Scooter, you expect him to hustle all the way, and that's the kind of player he is. So Braun, a late addition, initially out of the lineup because of his bad thumb.
He's hitting .351 against St. Louis this year. First pitch, fly ball out to shallow left, and that'll drop. And then mishandled by Holiday. They'll try to score 2, and they will. This game is tied. And nobody is at third base except Carpenter, and Lynn fires it late. Sloppy play by St. Louis here in the first inning.
Well, you could put 2 errors on that play. Swinging early, and you see him falling down, but it should be an RBI single. Holiday kicked the ball, and then when they threw it in, it was a wild throw. It got by Molina. Lynn backs it up, and by the time he throws it to third, Braun is over at third base.
Score is tied now at 2-2, and here's Aramis Ramirez, who is 9th in the National League, hitting .299.
They do have 3 errors already with 3 batters.
Wow. Fly ball out to left. Holiday makes the catch. The throw to the plate to try to catch Braun. It's there. It's in time. He's safe. He gave the lane to slide. You've got to be kidding me. Terrible. He may have been safe, but he gave the lane to slide.
Well, even if he gave it, it looked like he was out. Jerry Meals, the umpire, and I'm sure that if they challenge this, it's going to be reversed. He's the crew chief, and a nice throw by Holiday. There you see, he steps out of the way to give him a lane. He tags him well before. How can you be a big league umpire and miss that?
He's out.
All the way.
So it'll be a double play to keep the game tied at 2-2.
What is Mills looking at? How does Yadier Molina contain himself? Wow. That is amazing.
Yadi is watching the video board right now.
The crowd's reacting like we can't believe it. And there is no way you could say you didn't give him a lane.
This is actually an umpire review. So the reason why the umpires can come in on this and review it, even if the play wasn't overturned and the Cardinals would not lose a challenge, they're looking to see if the lane was there for the runner. Now, when the umpires look at this, they also can overturn the call. And they do.
But how do you miss that? Wow.
And now we get word that this was indeed a challenge. Regardless, Matheny does have another challenge if he elects to go that way.
How do you miss that? Look where the umpire's in perfect position. What is he looking at?
Wow. Now Jonathan Lucroy, 2-2 game. 3 errors in the inning. A double play. A little bit of everything.
I'm glad to see Lynn throw a ball on the first pitch. They obviously took the game plan that they were going to go up there swinging, trying to get that first pitch and put it in play.
Jerry Meals is the crew chief behind home plate. Bob Davidson at first, Chris Conroy at second, and Jordan Baker is down at third.
The 2 errors after Matt Adams were both on Holiday, kicking the ball and then a throwing error.
So he's up to 6 this year, and there's a swing and a miss by Lucroy, who's had a tremendous season. Lucroy is first in doubles with 47. 40 of the 47 as a catcher. He's had 12 starts at first base. All-time National League record for doubles is held by Yadier Molina with 44. The all-time record overall is 45 by catcher Pudge Rodriguez.
One year Pudge had 47, but 2 of them were as a DH. So as a catcher it was 45.
Well, last night Milwaukee snapped their 9-game skid, and with that win they matched their season total from a year ago, 74. And their record is 74-67, 3 games back of the Cardinals. Miller Park still filling up. You may see a lot of pink in the seats. It's a promotion for breast cancer awareness. They've had many survivors on the field before the game, some throwing out ceremonial first pitches, others having a chance to take a spot on the field before a first pitch. Very nicely done by the Milwaukee Brewers. The 2-2. In the air, out to left center. There goes Jay. He won't get it. And it's another double for the league leader, Jonathan Lucroy.
They're just teeing off, And another pitch is up in the middle of the zone. It's like Yachty wanted that ball away. And Lynn has had an adventurous first inning. Far cry from the 11 strikeouts and 7 shutout innings on April 14th.
And a strike to Chris Davis.
Broke a tie last night for the team lead in home runs. The 3 of them had 21 before Davis hit his 22nd last night.
We had an interesting call on a play at third base with a runner trying to tag up, where the fielder was blocking the view of the runner to make sure the catch was made in right and when to tag up.
And that was on Thursday night, and learned about the confusion at it was at least bad sportsmanship by Herrera. Was doing calisthenics, jumping jacks in front of John Jay, trying to block his view of seeing when to tag up, and he was thrown out. There wasn't a challenge there, but we saw Mike Matheny talking to the third base umpire and didn't really know what was going on.
And a strikeout for Lynn. His first of the night. 3 errors in the inning by St. Louis. That allows the Brewers to tie it up. Should be a fun night. Get set. It's 2-2. Jimmy, first and foremost, what happened at the end of the game last night with A.J. Pierzynski and K-Rod?
Yeah, we had some bizarre stuff to start this one and bizarre stuff at the tail end of last night's game. A.J. told me that the whole thing was bizarre to him. He said he looked over, he saw Maloney talking to Francisco Rodriguez. He didn't even know he had any part of it, and he later found out from Maloney that Rodriguez was complaining that A.J. either brushed him or walked too close to him. A.J. says that they went inside, they looked at tape, and he wasn't even close to making contact with Rodriguez. But as A.J. puts it, when you play a team 20 times in one season, somebody is going to get on someone's nerves. And as he puts it, it's a pennant race, so guys are on edge.
Matt Adams comes through as Molina looks at a strike. Yachty with good numbers against Loesch, 11 for 19. But tell me a little bit about Matt Adams and how he's feeling with that sore side.
Well, he looked great in BP, and obviously he looked great hitting the 2-run homer. He told me he feels like the oblique isn't an issue anymore, but he says that after missing the last 2 games, they'll continue to give him treatment just as a precaution because they don't want that thing to crop up again. He's been slumping at the plate, at least prior tonight, but he says that wasn't health related. As he told me, I just have to lay off bad pitches. So hopefully he'll do some of that and more of the home run hitting that we saw earlier in this one, Dan.
And I know you wanted to jump into Adam Wainwright. You had some info on his start tomorrow.
Yeah, Adam isn't commenting on whether or not he feels like he's past the little slump he's been in, but he says at this point in the season, every player on this team feels like this is make or break. And he says as a pitcher, his attitude is always that he's pitching in the last game of the World Series. So for him, it's not that much different, but he says he can feel the energy of this ball club. He can feel it offensively and around the clubhouse, and he's pretty excited about that start.
All right, thank you, Jim. We appreciate it. The second walk issued by Loesch, this one to Molina.
You mentioned the great numbers Yachty had against Loesch. 11 for 19, 3 doubles and 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. So you can see why he walked it.
Brings in Colton Wong, who is 4 for 6 against tonight's starter.
And a home run. Maybe
so a 2-2 game here in the top of the second, runner at first.
And maybe we're not going to have the pitching matchup we thought. Maybe we're going to have a slugfest.
That floats in there for a strike at 79 miles an hour.
Give you an idea how well Kyle Loesch has pitched this year. He's 12-8. He has 18 quality starts, and he's also been a victim of a team-leading 6 blown saves. So he definitely would be up there with the league leaders in wins if they converted those save situations.
You know, Jerry Meals, and there's a swing and a miss, was involved in a very controversial game back in 2011. And you may recall, it was the Atlanta Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it was the longest game in Pirates history. The catcher for the Pirates at the time was Michael McHenry. He had the ball and appeared to tag out Julio Lugo about 3 feet in front of the plate. The call was safe, and after that, you may remember the Pirates collapsed. Well, it was Jerry Meals who was on that call, and he's spoken about after that game having death threats. He is from Salem, Ohio, which is not that far away from Pittsburgh. He's got 2 young children. Life of an umpire.
Dan, when I saw this umpiring crew, I was kind of shocked that they didn't have a more experienced crew for such an important divisional game. Davidson's been around a long time, but he's not even the crew chief here. So Jerry Meals is the crew chief, but then you have 2 other young umpires, Conroy and Baker. You used to would see a divisional matchup like this, and you used to put in a real senior umpiring crew just to handle any kind of things that may pop up. As AJ said, you know, you play, it's a very emotional game.
Tavares on a pitch that's up, drives it out to left. Davis with room, makes the catch. Molina back to the bag at first. And it brings in Lance Lynn. It also brings in our Toyota keys to the game.
You know, in baseball, streaks follow streaks. Well, their losing streak stopped last night. Cardinal winning streak stopped. Stop that right now and start the Cardinals a new one. And just because the Cardinals have a bunch of lofty numbers against Kyle Loesch, don't take that for granted. Just go out there and grind your at-bats and play this game to its fullest.
Here's Lance Lynn, who's hitting .061. No home runs, no RBIs. You may recall, though, in his last start, swung the bat very well.
It went in the middle of the warning track.
It's as good as we've seen him swing the bat this year. Short lead at first. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. The Cardinals offense has averaged 5 runs a game on the road this year. 3rd best in all of baseball. Last year, just over 3. With that lead that Molina's got, I wonder if he would score on a triple. His lead is about 2 steps. Right now, that's the lead of 1 inch.
You know, Bob McClure was pitching, you'd pick him off.
And Lynn hit by the pitch. And to me, that just tells me with 2 walks in 2 innings and a hit pitcher, Loesch does not have his command tonight.
No. And you can tell that they appreciate him trying to gut through it, but you always worry about something with the lower part of your body affecting you on the elbow. But of course, this is why they always want if you're a right-handed pitcher, they want you to be a right-handed batter. Your pitching arm is the back arm, it's sheltered. A lot of times there's a lot of left-handed pitchers that are right-handed hitters, and most organizations try and get you to change, protect it.
In terms of leadoff men, Matt Carpenter 2nd in RBIs with 53 this year. Breaking ball and a strike. He walked and scored back in the 1st inning on a 2-run homer by Adams.
For some reason, he's had his troubles against Kyle Loesch. 1 for 12 with 3 walks.
Runners at 1st and 2nd. We've noticed some guys starting to tire down the stretch. And while Matt Carpenter is not piling up the hits, he did have a 3-hit game in game 1 of this series. He has been drawing a ton of walks. And he has 90 runs, most among leadoff men.
Just get that on base percentage up there because of those walks. And
inside, up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ahead in the count. This is where Carpenter is very, very dangerous. You see that with most hitters at this level, but especially a guy like Carpenter who is so selective.
he was 3 for 18 on the homestand, but he had a ton of walks, hit batter, kept the on base percentage up.
The 2-1. 2-2.
Curveball there, and wasn't what Carpenter was looking for, so take it, and he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
They shade Carpenter a bit opposite way. Gap in right center. A 2-2. Just missed. Lucroy set up outside, and he just missed.
Working the outside part of the plate and tried to backdoor the breaking ball, but a little off the plate. 2 outs, full count. This will help Yachty's lead.
Ground ball had him out in front. Went with an off-speed pitch on a 3-2, and the Cardinals strand 2. This is going to be an entertaining game. Game number 3, Milwaukee and St. Louis. To the bottom of the second. Let's look at the Cardinals defense presented by Dobbs. Holiday, Jay, and Tavares in the outfield. Carpenter, Peralta, Wong, and Adams. That four in the infield. Molina behind the plate. Lynn on the mound.
How about the luck or lack of luck for Lance Lynn so far? He's had 3 errors behind him in the first inning, and then he gets hit by a pitch. Change your luck.
It'll be 7, 8, and 9 for Milwaukee. Many in our viewing audience follow sabermetrics, and if you go by zone rating, which is you figure out the number of balls in play in each zone and then the rate at which players make those plays and they're recorded in each zone. Johnny Peralta right now is 5th in all of baseball among shortstops in zone. I mean, he has played very good defense any way you want to look at it.
Been an outstanding season for him.
I mean, I would say it's not the greatest of range, but he has 11 errors. And it seems like the majority of those have come with throwing errors.
I mean, but how many times have we just said that he'll make every routine play, and that's all you have to do. You do that, you've done your job.
With 2 strikes, he shifts over to the second base side of the bag. And now you have Matt Carpenter essentially playing shortstop in all kinds of room on the left side of the infield. Ooh, just missed, and it's 2-2. The 2-2. I always find it interesting when the Cardinals put this type of shift on, why Carpenter goes to short and not to where Peralta is at second base. They move Matt Carpenter. He basically is playing shortstop right now.
Shortstop, and why you say that is because he was a fine second baseman a year ago.
Yes.
So it seemed like it would make more sense.
And in this case, it doesn't matter.
Move 2 people out of position instead of putting 2 people in familiar positions.
I have asked, and I was told we have our reasons. Okay, good enough for me. Gene Segura. His speed a factor last night. 3 infield hits.
And Dan, that was something a year ago, his rookie year. He led the National League in infield hits, but they have not been that frequent this year, as his numbers are way down.
The pitcher Loesch on deck. Segura, the 8th place hitter. .235 average, 4 home runs. He's driven in 28. Oh, 2 the count. We're talking about the second halves of Lance Lynn. Last 2 years combined, an ERA over 4, and this year he has figured it out. Consistent all the way through. He's had 9 starts in the second half, and his ERA is 2.25. Remember, at one point in his all-star year, he was taken, at least the talk was going to be taken out of the rotation. Was skipped to start. And it's chopped foul.
You're absolutely right. He is really has picked up the pace. Maturity is one factor, but stamina. He has numbers at 225 in the second half. And like you said, he spent little times in the bullpen in the second half. Previous years, he'd win 11 games before the All-Star break. 2012 and 13. But then he would struggle after the break.
Segura, a swing and a miss, and Lance Lynn has back-to-back strikeouts. Time now for you to tweet your photo using the hashtag STLFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
After the adventurous first inning, Lance has decided, well, I'll take care of it myself. 3 strikeouts in a row.
Loesch hits it out of play. You can see the protective garment that he's wearing on his right arm. And you may recall when he was in St. Louis, it was against the Kansas City Royals. He squared up to bunt, was hit by a pitch. He was sailing along in the game. And at the time, you didn't think much of it. Well, now he has a scar to show on that right arm. He'll take that off when he pitches.
So innocent at the time. And yet, became a pretty serious injury.
We'll talk more about it when we come back. Lance Lynn strikes out the side and 4 in 2 innings. Ball is brought to you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer for 75 years. After the years behind Lynn, he is settled in. And now with 4 consecutive strikeouts. Moments ago, striking out the side in the bottom of the second.
Over Bay. Seemed to chase a high pitch. Segura gets him to come up empty. And then Kyle Loesch just paints it.
But you may recall, Al, he had the injury, Kyle Loesch did, and it was the sheath around the muscle in the forearm. They called it exertional compartment syndrome. And you find that in the legs of runners, and oddly enough, in the forearms of motocross riders. Remember, we had no idea what was going on, and neither did Loesch. Everything physically checked out right in the elbow and the shoulder as Jane takes a ball high, 1-1. And when he would come back in games, he'd feel great the first couple of innings and then fall apart. And what happens with that injury that he had, as you go along, it irritates the muscle. And so you may start out okay, but the muscle tires, it gets irritated, and then all of a sudden he couldn't finish off pitches.
Right. Never said a word, anything like that. And
Jay hits it out to deep right field. Braun going back at the wall with room. Just enough.
home run that Kyle Loesch allowed to Matt Adams in the first was his 20th of the year. And here, John Jay gives it a ride. See, LeCroy's glove went to the middle of the plate. Ron searching for the wall and reaches up and hauls it in.
Brings in Holiday. Struck out swinging first time up. What a night it was for Matt Holliday last night, taking home a Hungo Award.
No, he was gushing today, thanking me.
The National League Player of the Week and a Hungo Award winner.
Well, the National League, that was just routine, but the Hungo put him over the top. That's had good numbers against Kyle, 10 for 27 now with a strikeout in the first, but looks like he's executing pitches on Matt. Good slider there.
That's ripped out to left, a liner that's caught by Chris Davis. Brings in Adams now 4 for 8, pair of walks and a home run against Loesch. A 2-run shot back in the first inning, his 14th. Strike one. Every game so important from here on out. 21 to go for the St. Louis Cardinals on their schedule. No balls and 2 strikes.
Matt Adams can have a home run binge this September like he had last.
Remember, it was last September. He had the dramatic 2 home run night against Cincinnati and a big home run late in a game here. That's what the remaining schedule looks like for teams that are vying for postseason position. Strikeout of Adams. No argument. 3rd strikeout for Kyle Loesch. Yankees schedule in the running for postseason. And again, you can see postseason action on Fox Sports 1. Dodgers, Cardinals, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, San Francisco, Milwaukee. Pittsburgh, by the way, did win their suspended game earlier today against Chicago. So they picked up a half game in the Central Division.
And that's the win percentage of the remaining schedule each contending team will face. Cardinals really hold their own destiny. They have the best record in the Central Division. Of the 21 remaining games, only 6 are outside of the division, and they're with Arizona and Colorado, 2 sub-500 teams. Well, another big showdown with the Brewers in St. Louis on the Knicks homestand. Fox Sports 1 is going to be the place to be for a National League Division Series.
Here's a 1-2. Misses low and outside, just missed to even it up at 2-2. Lance Lynn with 4 consecutive strikeouts. Scooter Gennett reached on an error. The 10th by Adams back in the first and scored. And there's a grounder off of Lynn. Carpenter fields and throws and makes the play. 1-5-3.
The real keys for not only Lance Lynn but for the Cardinal pitchers is to keep Scooter Gennett off the bases. He's now 5 for 13, 0 for 2 today, and he's hit .386 against the Cardinals in his brief young major league career. Is now 7 for 13 off of Lance. He's hit over 300 since being acquired by Milwaukee at the trade deadline.
Parra with a double over Tavares' head in right. Peter Borges had started 4 consecutive games in center. And tonight it's Jay in center field. What's interesting is that Borges, when he has started since August, the Cardinals are 8 games above 500 when he's been in the lineup. He's really produced or provided defense.
Yeah, starting to swing the bat a lot better, and his defense has been very, very good.
And that's a swing and a miss. So 5 strikeouts for Lance Lynn. The Drury brothers will be there. It's a theme ticket, September 16th. And only with a theme ticket do you get that cap that you see there being worn. It's got the flaps that protect the ears. Stay warm hunting this upcoming winter. Martin Coco and his crew at the Cardinals do a great job with those theme nights. Here's Ryan Braun. Braun with a single to left, and then there was 2 errors on Holiday. He booted the ball, threw home, it got away from Molina, so 2 errors on the play. He's up to 6, and Ryan Braun has hit above 350 against the Cardinals this year. Now a 9-game hitting streak. What's interesting about Braun, he and Gomez, during the 9 games in which they lost consecutive, they were 5 for 40.
Yes.
I mean, those two mean an awful lot, obviously, to this offense.
He's been dealing with a nerve issue in his thumb that creating a problem swinging the bat, and was out of the lineup initially, but took batting practice and then talked his way back in. There's Gomez, who's missed 6 games. They did 2 nights ago. Gomez pinch ran. Last night he played the 9th inning in center field, and he was yesterday was given the clearance by the doctor to swing the bat lightly, but still they do not anticipate him playing until next week, and trying to play under control, which will be very hard for him to do. Contain and control his swing. It's one of the most vicious in the game.
2-2 is hit to short, and a low throw in the stretch by Adams. 1-2-3 inning for Lynn, who is set down 7 straight. Peralta, Molina, and Wong in a 2-2 game here in the top of the 4th. A wild start to this game. A 2-run homer by Adams, and then the Brewers tied it up. MLB.com, MLB.tv. That's where you go to find MLB at bat. And a breaking ball and a strike.
Johnny's home run last night was number 175 of his career. He loves hitting in this ballpark. He's hit over 400 in this ballpark. Closing in on 1,500 hits. He's 2 hits shy.
And Peralta gets a base hit out to left field. So Johnny is 1 for 2 on the night. He's hit Milwaukee so well this year.
Hanging breaking ball, gets on top of it, and pounds it through the left side. Well, 1 hit away from 1,500. Over his career, he's hit over 355. and over 400 in this ballpark. Elena's hit 400 in this ballpark this year.
So Yanni with a walk his first time up. The first pitch is taken high.
Yanni not only such a good student and an excellent catcher, receiver, works with the pitchers, but he studies his own pitchers the way he is tortured. Loesch. Good off-speed pitch there. Yanni's hit Kyle Loesch 11 for 19, 3 doubles and 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. I think he knows him.
I'd say so. Interesting to see a catcher get in the batter's box and to see if they feel they have a better feel about that pitcher than anybody else. Hit and run was on, and Overbay will only get the play at first, advancing Peralta to second.
Stays out the double play, but nice idea right there. That ball would have been a couple feet more to the left of Overbay. We were had a nice one, first and third situation, nobody out.
So brings in Colton Wong, who struck out his first time up. Go ahead run in scoring position at second base. Very interesting with 2 outs, 28 RBIs. So 28 of his 38 have come when there's 2 outs.
Remember, the Cardinals lead the National League in 2-out runs.
First time up, Colton Wong struck out on a changeup. What's he want to do here on 0-2? Oscar Taveras on deck.
A lot of young hitters, and if you can execute that pitch away from Colton Wong, you're going to get a lot of people, and that's what Loesch is really outstanding at changing speeds and keeping the sinker down.
In the air out to center field. Late break by Parra. He was spun around, and the Cardinals have the lead again. Peralta will score. Wong at second base. 3-2 St. Louis. Parra, late break on a ball that it looked like he thought was coming right at him. Turned to his left and then had to spin around.
And there's a 2-time Gold Glove winner, but once in left and once in right. And we've seen him kind of be confused. And you see him right there that he had no idea that that ball was going to be over his head. He even came in a little bit and then did a 360. And he's having a little trouble reading balls out in center field. Another area where Gomez is just so good tracking down fly balls when he's healthy.
So by starting the runner, which was Peralta, and what could have been a double play, turns into a run.
Yep. Mike Matheny was talking about Oscar Taveras yesterday. Got a pinch hit RBI. He's 5 for 10 with 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter. He just had a swagger about him. He's playing the hunch, giving him the start today. Asked how Oscar has handled the lack of playing time, and he said, well, very well. He goes, I know he's frustrated, but I don't want my players to be happy if they're not playing.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. In the dirt to Taveras, who flied to deep left his first time up. He's a pinch hitter last night. And that role he's starting to grow into. He's 5 for 11 as a pinch hitter.
4 RBIs, and Mike saw a little swagger, a little attitude with him, and goes around, talks to all the players, and he goes, I know he's not happy at times, but he's learning.
And Tavares courts one out to deep right field. Braun is back at the wall. It's gone! 2-run homer! Oscar Tavares! Way to go, Oscar! 5-2 St. Louis.
Third home run, RBI total up to 19. And that's what Mike Matheny was hoping to see. Just had a little different attitude. You know, he came by him last night, high-fived him after he got that base hit. And just, you know, he's been telling him, you produce, you get your time, and if you produce, you're going to get more playing time. And 2-run home runs give you more playing time. Second home run that Loesch has allowed tonight.
And a Cardinal fan gets the souvenir.
And rubbing it in to his buddy next to him, who is a Brewers fan.
As Lynn waves at it and strikes out. 4 strikeouts tonight. So 2 home runs allowed by Kyle Loesch, the former Cardinal. And again, he's had his issues against St. Louis. Loesch against the Cardinals. Poor numbers. Just 1 win, 4 losses.
And we know how good Kyle is. We also know how good Gallardo is. But he can't beat the Cardinals either. They skipped him in this 4-game set.
13th home run at Miller Park by the Cardinals this year, most by any opponent they've seen. Carpenter has walked and scored and grounded out. And now he strikes out. RBI double by Colton Wong, his 39th RBI. A 2-run homer, his 3rd of the season for Oscar Tavares. A 3-run lead for Lance Lynn. to 2014 playoff and World Series tickets. Place a deposit on new 2015 season tickets. For details, visit cardinals.com/season. Oscar Taveras, you wonder if we'll look back at some point in his career and say, remember when this guy was dropped down in the lineup? Rookie year, he was batting 8th. You know, there's many around baseball that consider Taveras to be a preeminent player that will hit in the middle of a lineup before it's all said and done. Expectations so high. It's been a slow start for him, no doubt. We'll see if he makes the adjustments. Popped up on the infield. There's Peralta, and all of a sudden, Lance Lynn is settled in.
And that's one of the things Mike Matheny was talking about Oscar, is he said, I'm sure everything has come so easy to him, and he thought it would come easy here. But has to be a little disappointed with his lack of playing time, but he keeps on talking to these guys and say, you will be rewarded with playing time if you start showing me good signs. And he was very impressed with that pinch hit appearance last night and had the hunch he's going to start him today, and it's paid off.
It's a good problem to have for the Cardinals, as Jonathan Lucroy is the hitter. You're talking about Peter Borges now vying for playing time, hitting above 300 in the second half. Obviously good defensive player. You know, 2-run homer and a key time from Taveras. You cannot sit John Jay right now with the way that he's going.
No. And just was commenting just what a great season John Jay's had, how he's handled, you know, the rough winter where really been talked about replace. We thought 2 years ago, we thought John Jay was a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. They were not happy with his defense last year, and so they went out and got Peter Borges. But John Jay has really responded to that challenge, and that's good to see.
3-1 the count on Lucroy, who doubled to left center.
Peter Borges' game has picked up here in the second half also.
And Lucroy draws the walk. Snaps a string of 8 straight. Let's see Lynn asking if it's up.
And you can do that. It's a strike. Yeah, he tried to pull it down, but Darren Meal's not very tall. And so now we were talking about Jordan Baker, 6'7", home plate umpire last night, but he called the high pitches. Jerry Meals calls the low ones.
Well, last night Milwaukee, it's the first time they out-hit their opponent since August 25th. When they do out-hit their opponent, this team wins. They're 47 games above 500 when they do that. 47. They've been out-hit thus far in this game 4-3. They trail 5-2. Good cut there by Chris Davis. Homered for the 22nd time last night to lead the club. See the losing streak snapped by the Cardinals.
I remember we came in here the last time we snapped a 9-game winning streak. We've been very inconsistent.
The high fly ball lifted to right field. Taveras under it. 2 outs.
I think still, Dan, you get back to the one telling stat that the Brewers in the first 5 months of this season have only had 2 winning months. Got off to a 20-8 start in April. But they've been playing sub-500 baseball just about every month since. And for the long haul, it has been.
Roof is open tonight. I mentioned last night when they open up the paneling in left and right centers when the ball really flies. And yet it has not affected the Cardinals tonight with 2 home runs. This ballpark, built back in 2001, seats just under 43,000. And a nice crowd on hand tonight here in Milwaukee for Game 3.
The weather has just been spectacular. Beautiful day. I mean, this time of year, they're in their heavy overcoats normally.
That's fouled back. And again, near our booth. Oh, 2 the count on Lyle Overbay. Left-handed batters up. Those foul balls that come back, they'll find our booth. That's tapped foul. Pittsburgh has jumped out to a big lead over Chicago in Game 2 of their pseudo doubleheader. Oh, 2 the count. Ball hits Overbay. So the tying run will come to the plate in Gene Segura. If it caught him, it barely did. Maybe just scraping the uniform. Let's take a look. Exactly what it did. So Segura comes in. He struck out on a fastball. Lynn in the first 3 innings struck out 5.
Don't fool around. Go right after him.
Two outs and 2 on. Here's an 0-1 pitch by Lynn. Inside to Segura. Almost hit him.
Little fear in hitters. He throws as hard as he does, and used to be a familiar term talking about pitchers effectively wild. I rarely hear that term anymore. Make it uncomfortable in that batter's box. But pitch ahead in the count.
Inside again. Sometimes you see Lynn really get underneath it.
Yeah, he's trying to get down sideways and spinning off a little bit, but got to stay on top of the ball. You get underneath it, and the ball will go stay up and away. It sails on you. Kind of pushing it instead of releasing it.
Comes alive on this 3-2 pitch.
He's trying to win his 15th game, with his record of 15-8.
Runners go, and it's spoiled. To the Brewers shortstop. A liner and a foul ball. Adams slow to get up.
Yeah, he's going to get up. An effort by Matt. You see Colton making sure he's okay. Dives for this ball and had that glove hand pinned underneath him a little bit. Good time. Give Adams a little time to recover, but also make sure he's on the same page on this 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. You also have to remember Segura has such tremendous speed. Time he just nubs the ball, he has potential of beating it out.
Good numbers against St. Louis. This crowd ready to erupt here in Milwaukee. Big pitch right here.
Rear end's going one way, but reaching out and just getting a piece of it.
In the inning, he's hit a man, and it brings in Kyle Loesch, and they're going to pinch hit for Loesch right here. You know, obviously he's not right. We talked about that. He tried to gut through 4 innings, and Ron Renneke is not going to waste any time. He's going to get a shot at Lynn, and he's going to go for it right here, and it's going to be the left-handed batter Matt Clark, who's a minor leaguer with the Detroit Tigers and then brought up briefly. We've seen him, Matt Clark, in Jupiter when the Tigers were in town. So a roll of the dice here by Ron Renneke to go to his bench and then ask his bullpen to shut the door on St. Louis.
And that's what you can do when you have all the September call-ups. Loesch not 100%. You're already trailing by 3. This is such an important game. Clark recorded his first major league hit on Thursday, and he got a pinch hit single off of Seth Maness. Made his major league debut on Tuesday off the bench. So in this series, 1-for-1.
Bases loaded. And the first pitch taken for a ball. I mean, this crowd is ready to explode.
It's the fun part of it. Last season, Matt Clark was in Japan. He had spent his minor leagues prior to that with San Diego's organization. He was at AA and AAA this year.
And he pops it up. Should be caught. Shallow center. Jay waving everybody off. He's got it. And Lynn is able to strand the bases loaded. Outstanding here lately. 13 1/3 scoreless innings currently. And a former starter will take over for Kyle Loesch, and that's Marco Estrada that our Chevy called to the pen. 32nd appearance from Marco. He was knocked out of the rotation after he was knocked around, especially with home runs earlier this season.
He's allowed 29 home runs, and that's what, as you said, knocked him out of the rotation. 7-6 on the year. He's made 18 starts, and now this is his 14th relief appearance. Those are just batting .254 against him, but too many long balls.
Well, John Jay trying to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. 388 average since the break, and John will lead it off for the Cardinals. He came in at 321, which would be tops in the National League. He does not qualify, by the way, for the batting title. A player would need. There's a look at our BJC Healthcare difference maker. 5th in average, 6th in on-base percentage, minimum 325 at bats. A player needs 502 official ABs, so 3.1 per game. Jay has 343 with 21 games left. So say he gets 4 per game. That takes him to 448 at bats, so he'll be shy. But theoretically, you could add extra outs to get to 502 at bats and still win a batting championship.
Yes, you could add those, but I don't think you'd have enough. You'd have to continue on this and pick up some points. I think would be to still win if they added the future at bats. So keep on hitting.
But you have to have over 500. 502 is the official ABs that you would need. And his current pace takes him to roughly around 440 to 450. So Jay here, then Holiday and Matt Adams. But that's why John Jay, when you look at the listings for the top batting averages in the National League, he does not qualify.
Over the 1 year, Willie McGee got traded to the American League and still won the batting title in the National League. And they added future at-bats, I believe, so he qualified.
Into center field, and Jay hitless tonight in 3 at-bats. Well, brings in Matt Holliday, who is struck out and also lined out. 0 for 2 tonight.
And 3 hits in the first game Thursday in this series, and 0 for 6 since.
And a high fly ball lifted into right. Ryan Braun is under it. 2 down.
See, he's a fly ball pitcher, and they haven't been able to center one yet, but that's why he gives up so many home runs. In this ballpark, the ball can fly.
Fastball and a strike to Adams. 2-run homer with 2 outs back in the first. Now up to 14. He struck out looking last time up. Swings through a pitch up in the zone, and it's 0-2.
Still leads the National League in home runs allowed with his 29. Only hit 2 home runs on the road since the middle of July. One of them tonight, the other one in Philly.
And he's out in front and strikes out. Is brought to you by Budweiser. We'll come your way tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Midwest, as Adam Wainwright will get the call for St. Louis. Allowed 3 home runs in his last start, but yet picked up 3 RBIs. First to do that since Bob Gibson back in the mid-60s. Wainwright is 5th in the ERA race at 2.69. Kershaw 1.70. And Adam trying to pick up win number 17 tomorrow. He is tied with 2 others with 16 and could surpass 200 innings tomorrow too. He's at 194.
Win this game, and then you set up with Adam. We're all looking forward to that, and see if the Cardinals can't win 3 of 4. They have won 8 of the first 14 meetings between these two clubs, and they're 3-3 in St. Louis, 5-3 here in Milwaukee. Something out on the field in left field corner, and they got the young man pink slips. He dropped his phone. Who's really been a side and pain in the side for the Cardinal pitching staff. Started this inning off a little harmless ground ball to third or first base, and Adams booted it. He scored 2 runs in the first inning with 3 errors. So both runs charged to Lynn in the first inning are both unearned.
Scooter Gennett hit one back in. Lynn went 1-5-3, and with 2 strikes, Matt Adams is near the line, and Carpenter over at third is well off the line. Gap in right center. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's up to 77 pitches. Big, strong, that 100 pitch mark really doesn't mean anything to him. He's one of the starters that throws the highest pitch count in per start. He's not allowed to hit since the first inning. Strand the bases loaded last inning with 2 walks and a hit batter.
A 2-2. Top of the lineup here, Gennett, Parra, and Braun. Cardinals leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th. And it's a leadoff walk. Control has gone a little awry here the last couple of innings.
Yeah, he's getting underneath the pitches. He's kind of spinning off towards first base, not driving towards home plate.
Tony La Russa relieved Kevin Towers of his duties on Friday in Arizona. The Cardinals farm director, Gary LaRocque, interviewed for the D-backs job today. Gary has managed in the minor leagues, played in the majors, runs the Cardinals farm system, so we'll see how that plays out. Good baseball guy. Breaking ball, and it drops in for a strike.
I'm sure the Cardinals would hate to lose Gary, but they would also wouldn't want to stay in the way if he can get a promotion to a general manager job.
Yeah, Cardinals had to give permission to the Diamondbacks to interview Gary, and earlier this year Michael Gersh, the assistant GM, was invited to interview for the Padres job, and The longtime guy behind the scenes, John Vooch, does a great job too.
Yep.
Mentioned in our open, this is the 19th year today, the anniversary, Cal Ripken's famous game. September 6th of 1995, consecutive game number 2,131.
And you were there, partner.
I was there for his final game.
Oh, final.
The Cardinals' all-time record for games played consecutive. I know you'll find this shocking. Stan the Man. He's at the top of every list, so why not that one? 895 games. The current record holder in baseball is Hunter Pence of the Giants, 362.
That'll be a record that will never be broken.
Wouldn't think.
Fighting it a little bit right now. His plate floating on him. Ball behind the count again. 3-1. Kind of stirring out there in the bullpen.
I remember in that game with Cal Ripken, there was actually a delay to start it. It seemed like an eternity. It was 22 minutes. I know it sounds trivial, 22 minutes, but when you have a game and you've been waiting that long to get to that record, 22 minutes seemed like an eternity.
You pull a muscle in that time.
Right. I mean, just think about all the things that had to go right for him to play in every single game.
And you know, the reason it'll never be broken is because I'm sure there'd be managers that would never let it get near that. And if you would look back, and I'm sure Cal Ripken probably said, well, there was probably how many games I really shouldn't have played. I really wasn't physically 100%, but the record meant so much to him and baseball at that time.
Huge for baseball.
Part of the healing process.
Follow the work stoppage, and now Derek Lilliquist will come out after back-to-back walks.
It's 4 walks and a hit batter in the last inning plus. You do have a 3-run lead. You need to complete this 5th inning for your 15th win, but this time of year, team wins are more important than individual accomplishments.
Lynn is not due up for 5 spots in the Cardinals lineup, and now you get Ryan Braun, who has 18 home runs. A single and an RBI back in the first. He's also grounded out to short. Against the Cardinals, a look at the average. It's just gone up, 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 up.
And against Lance Lynn now, he's 5 for 15 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Not swinging the bat the way we typically would see a former MVP have a thumb issue.
The elephant in the room with Ryan Braun, what kind of player would he be coming off the suspension? And being a quote-unquote clean player. He's in the middle of a mega deal.
He had 18 home runs last season before serving the suspension, and 18 this year.
And a double play ball. It's hit to short, out at second, and it's a double play. Huge 2 outs right there. Lynn staring at Scooter Gennett, who's down at third. Lance wants a new baseball, and it brings in Aramis Ramirez. Cardinals have turned their second double play tonight.
Boy, that ball just kind of sat there and spun, but gets good result. 6-4-3 double play, 2 outs, runner at third base, and it's the second double play they've turned tonight. One was a catch and left and throw him out at home plate.
Cardinals have Seth Maness getting loose in the pen, and you wonder if this was any other inning after the 5th, how aggressive Mike Matheny would be in his bullpen. This chance allows Lynn to potentially get a win if he gets out of the inning.
Well, you know, it's still, I think Mike Matheny's going to have to, and I'm sure he's informed all of his players that, you know, things might, or during the earlier part of the season, I might go longer with a pitcher or do this or that. But right now, team wins are more important. You got to lead. You got to hold on to it. Saw how Renicky did it with Kyle Loesch. Of course, he was trailing already by 5-2. When you're facing Lance Lynn, you know you're going to get a fastball. Throws it high 70% of the time, but his ball will explode right at the end. Right about the time a hitter starts to start their swing, they'll tell you that his fastball just kind of explodes that right at the end, and you're swinging at it where you thought it, and it just moves enough to where you can't center it.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2 now on Ramirez.
You know, Dan Ramirez his home run totals are way down. You know, in the sense that here was a guy that just could plug in 30 home runs, 100 RBIs.
That really is the National League this year, isn't it?
He's 6th on the all-time Major League list for home runs for a third baseman at 364.
2-2 pitch. Got him. Lynn gets out of the jam again. In the 4th, it was bases loaded. This spot, 2 on with drawn up. No damage done.
To lead. Don't miss the explosive final season of Sons of Anarchy, premiering Tuesday, September 9th, only on FX. What a great series that has been. Cardinals have the 5-2 lead. The Brewers got their 2 runs and all 3 of their hits in the first inning. Cardinals committed 3 errors, and so they were 2 unearned runs. Johnny Peralta 1 for 2 on the night. He is sitting on 1,499 career hits, and Marco Estrada is out for his 2nd inning of work. Danny mentioned that the Brewers bullpen hasn't allowed a run in their last 14 1/3 innings of work. That's 4 plus this game. Well, the Cardinals have been able to match that too. The Cardinal bullpen has allowed only 1 run in their last 13 innings of work. Estrada gets ahead of the count, 0-1 to Peralta.
One ball and 1 strike. Cardinals lead it by the score of 5-2. The shift is on here for Johnny. 1-1 pitch. Fastball in there for his strike. Well, Lance Lynn, give him credit. He has pitched out of a couple of big jams here tonight.
Been accustomed to seeing Lance Lynn be that bulldog type pitcher, give you whatever you need.
2-2.
Johnny was originally signed by Washington. Claimed off of waivers by Milwaukee back in 2010. He's been one of their main starters the last couple years. But started there this year, 18 starts, home run ball, allowed so many home runs they took him out of the rotation and put him in the bullpen.
And that's hit out of play.
Johnny Peralta's career here at Miller Park, .436 average with 6 home runs and 13 RBIs. A slugging percentage of .836. I mean, he loves hitting here.
Just got a piece to stay alive.
A lot of hitters will tell you they really like this high batter's eye. It's so wide and it's so tall. And I was asking some of the players today with some of the, you see the below the scoreboard there, you got all that black area. Gives a good hitting background.
And Peralta shoots it into left center, but that'll be caught. There's Parra. And Johnny is 1 for 3. Pennant race is heating up September 16th through the 18th. And the Cardinals take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Don't miss your chance to see these two teams go head to head. A crucial Central Division showdown, and tickets are still available at Cardinals.com. It looks like the Cardinals, even before kids are let out of school and now back in school, will have over 40,000 for every one of their games this year.
Just incredible support, and we ask you to come out for that final homestand. You do make a difference. And the Cardinal players will tell you that this time of the year, you know, you feed off the energy of a crowd. The Cardinals travel so well. Great representation here in Milwaukee from Cardinal fans, but there's nothing like the atmosphere at Busch Stadium. Again, I was asking some of the players about some of these pitchers are getting so tall. There's some of them, you know, like they complain in spring training that the low batter's eye at Roger Dean Stadium, some pitchers, you know, kind of have outgrown that dimensions. And they were saying it's what happens with Wainwright at Wrigley Field. You can't see his curveball.
Interesting. Renovations coming up at Wrigley Field, too.
We won't tell them, though.
Sometimes you know it's coming, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. With Adam Wainwright. Great numbers against Estrada for Yadier Molina. 2-2. It's funny how baseball works. You know, some pitchers just have a hitter's number or vice versa.
And sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason. Now, with Yadi, you know, he's just a good hitter. He's made himself a good hitter. Came up and was promoted because of his defensive reputation. And he did it the right way. You're such an important person, catching a pitching staff, working with them. The first couple of years, that's your primary concern.
Molina strikes out.
After he really solidified himself as today's best catcher, he's really turned into a very good offensive player on top of it.
second strikeout by Estrada in relief of Kyle Loesch. Tomorrow we'll see Jimmy Nelson, and he's a big kid. He's made 10 starts. He's 2-6. Actually made his major league debut a year ago today.
And he started the game.
No, that's not a strike. Is even Luke Roy looks back at the home plate umpire.
Remember, Nelson started a game earlier this year here at against the Cardinals at Miller Park. Open 2 for 6 off Estrada.
Slicing in the gap in left center, but there's Parr. St. Louis. Regency St. Louis at the Arch offering an incredible Cardinals package this season. That includes overnight accommodations, tickets to a weekend home game, a personalized Louisville Slugger bat, and a $25 food and beverage credit to Brewhouse or Red Kitchen and Bar. Number to call is 655-1234 or visit stlouisarch.hyatt.com. Just had the famous racing sausages, brat, Polish, and Italian sausage. Hot dog joined the race mid-90s when it became live. It started on the giant scoreboard in center field back in the early 1990s of their old ballpark. The pierogi race in Pittsburgh, the President's race in Washington. And a check swing, base hit. And it looks to be another double for Jonathan Lucroy, digging for second. His second double tonight for the league leader.
Nothing makes a pitcher matter than a check swing, and then when you get an extra base hit out of it, it's even worse. You'd almost rather have the ball hit off the wall. Well, watch this swing or non-swing. Oops. And then the ball, he got the bat out far enough in fair territory. He hits it fair. His 49th double with the 2 tonight.
So here is Davis. And again, more activity in the Cardinals pen. Manus is back up, the right-hander, and a lefty getting loose as well. And that's Sam Freeman.
It's the first base hit since the first inning. And that was Lucroy back in the first inning. But 4 walks and a hit batter in between. And those were the last 2 innings off of Lance Lynn.
And a ground ball that's hit to short. Peralta thought about going to third. He may have had a play, but gets the shore out with a 3-run lead.
That's it, Danny. I mean, he had a play there, but risky play by Lucroy running here. Now, if the ball's behind you, you can take off. It's slowly hit, but he doesn't get that good a jump. Peralta checked him, but you got to get it out, and the sure one was at first base.
Well, you talk to players all the time, and they'll tell you before every pitch, they think about what am I doing with the ball if it comes to me in every scenario.
And a base runner's doing the same thing, too. Ball's hit here. What do I do?
Overbay pops it foul and out of play.
Hits are even. Cardinals have 5 runs on 4 hits. The Brewers have 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 unearned runs, as the Cardinals committed 3 errors in the first inning.
Good pitch.
You're right.
0-2. Lynn has struck out 6. This would be big right here if he could get 7.
And that ball, he thought that ball was inside, and it just came back over the middle of the plate.
Molina makes sure that stays out in front. And it's 1-2.
He hit Overbay his last time up, just grazed his pant leg. Battle of the runners in scoring position has gone to the Cardinals. Bay struck out his first time up against Lance.
Pirates on the verge, by the way, of winning their game here at Cole, starting in the scheduled ball game. And it played a game 1, and Pittsburgh won that.
And Cueto won his 17th game over the Mets 2-1. Cueto 17-8. We'll see him in Cincinnati. That'll be a matchup of Lynn and Cueto on Thursday afternoon.
Braves in the top of the 7th lead the Marlins 3-1. Braves are 1 game behind Milwaukee for the 2nd wild card spot. The 2-2.
Well, if the Cardinals defeat Milwaukee and the Pirates win both ends of the doubleheader to suspend a game in the game today, they will be tied in second place behind St. Louis at 4. Correct?
Left center. One hops off the wall, and a double for Lyle Overbay. Cuts a lead now to 5-3.
Pirates be a half game behind Milwaukee. 1 win less than Milwaukee 74.
Here's Segura, who is struck out and walked.
Reynolds is on deck. Big power hitting Mark Reynolds.
One out runner at second. Lynn at one point had set down 8 in a row, and since that time he has walked 4. He has hit a man. He's given up a pair of doubles, so it's unraveled a little bit here for Lynn. His pitch count is at 107, so one way or another, this is his final inning. He is due up second for the Cardinals.
I don't think there's any doubt that this could be his last batter, period. Mike Matheny is giving him more leash, and he's earned it this year.
Outfield is straight away. Carpenter in over at third. 1 ball and 1 strike. The key word, he's earned it. Earned it being the key word. You get to the point now, you really look forward every 5th day with Lance Lynn.
Right. Came in 6-2 with a 2.08 ERA since July the 4th. Top ERA in the Card staff and 5th best among National League pitchers with 10 or more starts. He's earned the right to try and finish this inning. The tying run is in the batter's box.
And a ground ball hit to the right side. Play made by Colt Wong. And so Mark Reynolds, who has 21 home runs, second on the club. In many ways, all or nothing player, will pinch hit. The AT&T fan photo. We unveil it for you. So in steps Reynolds. Reynolds as a pinch hitter is 2 for 10 with 1 home run and 2 RBIs.
One for 3 off of Lance.
Strike 1. Just like Lance feels cheated, now Reynolds feels cheated.
Just going to say the same thing. You love it as a pitcher when you can get that strike. The guy doesn't take the bat off his shoulder.
Pitch number 112 from Lance Lynn. Mike Matheny is trying to get him through one more hitter.
Doesn't sound like much, but when you turn it over to the bullpen to get 9 outs, it's so much easier than getting 10. He's got to get up on top. And it's kind of pushing the ball out, not staying on top of it, and not commanding the strike zone. Careful inside fastball.
And a ground ball. He jammed him just enough. And Lynn is through 6. His night is through. His spot is due up second. Cardinals lead it 5-3. New pitcher is in, third of the night for the Brewers, and that's Tom Gorzelani in our Chevy. Pulled to the pen. 21st appearance for Gorzelani and a .48 ERA. He's had a tremendous year. Just a matter of staying healthy. Oscar Taveras will lead things off. Pinch hit last night, got a base hit. A start in this game, and this two-run homer. That high finish with the swing. Number 3 for Taveras. RBIs 18 and 19.
Oscar, who hit well against left-handed pitching at AAA, will get a shot. I mentioned Gorzelani staying healthy. He began the season on the disabled list, recovering from left shoulder surgery. Was reinstated on June 14th. And last pitch Tuesday in Chicago was tossed a scoreless 6th inning. And this is something the Cardinals have scored 397 runs during innings 1 through 6. And that's right around the average in Major League Baseball. But the Cardinals have only scored 146 runs after the 6th inning. And that's the worst in all baseball. It has gotten better in the second half, but once again, we keep on saying you need to get that lead and you need to add on.
You say it's gotten better in the second half. It feels like it's gotten better in the last 2 weeks.
And that's more accurate. And I think the Cardinals had 2 come from behind wins in the first half. And remember, it's not 81 and 81. They played over 100 games in the first half, and they've had 7 comeback wins in the second.
I was wondering if this was an issue for Lynn. He kept looking back down at his hand. Now, he does that a lot during the game, but remember, he had a blister issue about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and he kept looking back down on it, and you wonder if that's an issue now. Up and into Taveras.
Remember, he kind of tore his callus completely off, and then you got to go new skin and get that toughened up. And you know, he may have been still has that callus, but it may be cracking, and so you get a real tender spot. And I'm sure in between starts they'll work on that and all kinds of different little remedies to toughen up that skin.
Isn't it amazing? Something as little as a blister can have a major effect on a pitcher.
You know, it could take you right out of a game. It could, you know, it's funny, professional athletes, you know, the football players, they hear about a blister problem and they laugh. But then we laugh when we hear turf toe. You don't laugh if you ever played on artificial surfaces and ever experienced a turf toe, because it's very painful.
Taveras goes the other way, and it's just foul.
A little blister can be the end of the world for a pitcher, and yet a broken hand could be no big thing to a lineman. Pad it up, go out and play.
I remember Anibal Sanchez dealing with that. Ryan Dempster when he was pitching early last year. Tim Lincecum.
Put guys on the DL.
And he went a strikeout of Taveras.
Peter Borges is going to hit for Lance Lynn. His night was going to be through after getting through the 6th inning. And he'll probably go in defensively, as Freeman will probably be the next pitcher.
So you put the pitcher in Taveras' spot as Peter hits it back to Gorzelani on the first pitch. Flips it over to first, and there's 2 down. Cardinals have struck out in this lineup 8 times tonight. They actually have been out hit in this game. They've committed 3 errors, and yet they win potentially by the score of 5-3. Who knows?
Matt walked to lead off this ball game and came on to score on the 2-run home run by Matt Adams, and 0 for 2 since that time. He is now 1 for 13 against Kyle Loesch. Just 1 for 8 off of Gorzelani.
Heard somebody ask our trainers about pickle juice. They said, is that something that you could use on your fingers for a blister? And they said, that's an old wives' tale.
Yeah, I mean, your old deal, pickle brine. And there's some very unusual and some interesting ones. Some are more favorite with players than others.
They talk about an emery board. You can use that. They always talk about using lotion on your fingers.
No, they use the emery board to.
That's some pitchers, not all.
Scrape up the baseball.
Carpenter fouls it back.
I remember one of the taboos when I was a starting pitcher in the minor leagues. I used to like to swim the next day after I pitched. And there are a lot of organizations that frowned upon swimming because they thought it would soften your hands, your calluses up.
A breaking ball, and it's popped foul. Here's a 2-2. Ripped to second, and the catch is made. Hard hit, but Scooter Gennett is there. Time to stretch. Looks like Freeman coming on. And it's 5-3 in favor of St. Louis. Lance Lynn, 6 innings, the 5 hits. Matt Adams, 1 for 3 with a homer tonight, pair of RBIs. Loesch only lasted 4 tonight. Lucroy, 2 for 2, pair of doubles, and a run scored. That's a look at your Mazda game summary. The changes for St. Louis are Chevy called to the pen, 35th appearance for Sam Freeman. He hasn't pitched in over a week, so we'll see how sharp he is. And in center field, it's Peter Borges. John Jay moves to right. This combination Borges and Jay defensively saved game 1.
And Ricky Weeks, who had a pinch hit home run in this series, one hit away from 1,000 in his career. But this is the 11th day since Sam Freeman has pitched. Back in Pittsburgh.
Well, Weeks gives you that home run potential. He homered as a pinch hitter the other night. Lefties have actually hit Freeman better than right-handers. Lefties 300, right-handers 211. First pitch.
That is something, Dan, that happens a lot with left-handers, but usually they're like starting pitchers that they can, you put in a right-hand hitting team and they have better success against them. And the one thing it seemed like first thing that come to mind was Sam Freeman. When he faced a lefty, it seemed like he's always pitching behind in the count. He's got to come into him, but he's got electric stuff. He's got a great fastball, very good changeup that I think he throws so much better to the right-handed batters.
1-1. Good pitch in on the hands of Ricky Weeks. There's not many right-handers that will hit that pitch right there.
No. Ricky, tremendous collegiate career.
What concerns you a little bit with Freeman is that he was so good initially. Prior to the All-Star break, he was opponents were hitting 176 against him. Here in the second half, it's close to 350. You know those numbers.
Yeah.
You bring him into some of these tight games. His control has not been what it was in the first half, which has always been the knock on him.
Right.
If he can throw strikes, he'll have success. The 2-2. Got him.
You definitely got to say he belongs here.
Oh, yeah.
Mentioned the changeup, but he's got a good breaking ball, too. And throws 95. That's what you're talking about. Roughed up, but you can't say he's been overworked either. His 35th appearance and been off since the 26th of August. It's like last night, K-Rod had been off for 11 days. He did not want to pitch. Renicky wanted to use him in non-safe situations, and he said no. I'll just wait till it's a safe situation. Some guys can throw strikes better than others after a long layoff.
Here's an 0-1 pitch by Freeman to Parra. 0-2.
He's coming in throwing strikes and good strikes.
Sam has thrown 2 innings this year against Milwaukee. No runs allowed. He's given up 1 hit. Molina wants it low, and that pitch was hung.
Yeah. Never faced him.
Wants it low again. Fights it off, and a tough play. Backhanded by Peralta. Boy, that's not easy there.
No. With that little short hop and you're backhanded it, but he's got such soft hands. And Mike Matheny will bring him out. He got his 2 men. Jams him.
But the spin on that ball, too.
Yeah. Get a lot of English on it. So Mike's going to go to the bullpen. Nice job, Sam Freeman.
Chevy called to the pen.
Carlos making his 47th appearance. He did make 7 starts. Remember, he started in relief. He was 0-3 in relief. Then he made the 7 starts. He was 2-1, 4.45 ERA. His 43 relief appearances, he's 4.45 ERA. But what we've seen the last couple times out of the bullpen is we've seen his best work of the year. He's got that little confidence back. Call it an arrogance when he's on the mound, and I mean that as a compliment. But he's out there with an attitude.
Now it's Ryan Braun. The slider misses low, but you're starting to see that confidence beginning to get back to where it was a year ago. Huge strikeout the other day of Andrew McCutchen in the walk-off win for St. Louis against Pittsburgh.
On 1 for 4. And that's where you see the 98.
Well, I wonder with the sore hand that Braun has right now, and he's really struggling feeling the bat, literally numbness in the fingers and the thumb. He can just blow that fastball right by him.
Well, remember, he also has a very good slider. And breaking ball there. So he's got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball and an 88-mile-an-hour slider. Don't waste any time. Blow him away.
And he got him looking. Strikeout of Braun. Nice work, Carlos Martinez. 4 pitches and a strikeout of Ryan Braun. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1 of Weeks by Freeman. And moments ago, Ryan Braun from Martinez. Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Let's go to our studio at Fox Sports Midwest Live in Ballpark Village and a Bommarito Sports Update with Pat. Jeremy Jeffress is our call to the bullpen. Chevy call. 8th inning rolls in on this Saturday night from Miller Park in Milwaukee. The Cardinals have a 5-3 lead. So to give you an idea of what's happening with the standings, if the Cardinals can hold on and win this game tonight, St. Louis would be 4 in front of Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh 4.5 games out. And Milwaukee, they've got to start worrying about that wild card, and in particular the second wild card. The Braves are leading 3-1 over the Marlins, and that's now in the bottom of the 8th. John Jay.
There's so much time left, and you're playing inside the division. You can pick up ground and you can lose ground quickly. So Ricky Weeks stays in the game, plays second base.
Agreed, but you play with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why the Cardinals control their own destiny.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. After this road trip, just 1 remains. 3 at Chicago, then 3 at Arizona to finish up the regular season.
And Dan, the Milwaukee Brewers, their last 3 games were against the Cubs. I wouldn't want to be having to win games against them right now.
Grounded to short, and a rare 0-for-4 night for John Jay. Last Cardinal hit was in the 4th. It was a double and an RBI by Wong, and then Tavares followed that up with a 2-run homer.
They haven't had a base runner since Tavares' at bat in the 4th.
Brings in Matt Holliday. Holliday tonight, something has made its way onto the field.
Airplane, paper airplane.
Holliday has hit one to the track and left, hit one to deep right, and flied out to center. Roof has been open tonight. They can open and close in about 10 minutes.
Close the panels and left and right center, but just a beautiful, beautiful evening. Great day up here.
Holliday in the air out to shallow right. If you're wondering, when the roof closes, it's about 200 feet above the playing field. That roof is 12,000 tons.
A revolutionary design, and a roof on a stadium today adds about what, $100 million?
I'm not in the roofing business. I don't know.
Well, maybe not today, because I think that's what the difference was in this one, and it's been here for what, close to 10 years now.
Yeah, opened up in was built in 2001, and then they had a tragedy with a worker that delayed the opening of it. Actually had input from Hall of Famer, Brewers legend Robin Yount on dimensions. They brought him in and asked him about dimensions, the former shortstop and center fielder. Adams hits it out to deep left field, and this ball is caught. Bottom of the 8th, rolls in when we come back. Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Beautiful night for baseball here in Milwaukee. Roof is open. Temperatures are perfect. It's 5-3 in favor of the Cardinals as we move to the home half of the 8th. Lots to do when you come to Milwaukee. Take a tour of the Harley-Davidson Museum.
Now you got John Jay in left field, Borges in center, and Grichuk enters the game in right field. So this would be the best defensive outfield we could come up with. And Grichuk has a very good arm, so he's the right fielder.
Did I see you taking a picture with the Fonz? You know, there's a statue with Arthur Fonzarelli.
Dan, I asked you to take the picture.
I forgot.
Of me and the Fonz.
Yeah.
All right, you know, so of course. There's your ride home. Me on your back. We were talking between the innings that the real key down the stretch is Carlos Martinez. Rosenthal and Neshek have had incredible years, but I think the real key is to have Carlos to pitch like this in the 8th inning.
And a ground ball. It's hit to short off the bat of Ramirez. One away.
And then you can kind of alternate Rosenthal and Neshek and kind of having those guys, and so you always got a couple of these guys available. If Martinez needs a rest, you get what we've done all along. Neshek in the 8th, Rosenthal in the 9th. And at times right now, there will be times maybe Rosenthal may not, he may need a break, and then you have Neshek to close out a game. He has 5 saves. Jason Mott still coming back from Tommy John. I don't think Segrist is really healthy. You know, he had just such a remarkable year last year. And I think that forearm or whatever he's, so kind of Freeman replaces him. But it all revolves around having the Carlos Martinez being dominant.
One ball and 1 strike on Lucroy. 2 doubles tonight. He's up to 49, which ties him with Hall of Famer Robin Yount. The Brewers all-time list. He set that mark back in 1980. Ramirez had 50 in 2012. The all-time leader in doubles, Lyle Overbay, with 53 in 2004 for Milwaukee.
Remember last year we had Matt Carpenter with 55 doubles. Beat Stan Musial's record for doubles by a left-handed hitter in St. Louis history.
Are you surprised, having said what you did about Martinez, and he looks good here tonight? There's a strikeout of Lucroy, and he looks sharp. But you don't even see Neshek throwing in the pen, just in case Carlos ran into an issue.
Well, I'm not, and I am. You know, but I think the key is Neshek's had a little trouble. You know, he's been human a little bit lately. So everybody got the day off. You know, Manus got the day off. Neshek got the day off. Rosenthal. But if you can buy another day from Neshek, I think it's that important.
Slicing down the right field line, and that's in the corner off the bat of Chris Davis. The tying run will come to the plate in Lyle Overbay. And the problem right now with expanded rosters, you know, Randy Choate, you do not want to see him face a right-handed hitter.
Yeah, so they're going to, you know, they could
counter with a righty
every time. Overbay is 0 for 3 against Martinez.
Carlos has faced 4 here tonight. He has struck out 2 looking. Got a ground ball off the bat of Ramirez. And now Overbay represents the tying run. 2 outs.
And here, Dan, just to further our point, Manus is throwing, not Neshek. So I think they wanted to make sure they give him a couple days off.
And a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Now 0-2. When you see his stuff this good, I wonder if you're tempted to say, I don't think he would do it, but look ahead for Martinez in the night.
I think that is down the road. I think there's going to be times when Mike Matheny is in love with this Martinez. Not the guy that was 0-3 early in the season out of the bullpen. Not the guy that was trying to stretch out in the rotation. But this guy is the weapon.
Man. Got him with an off-speed pitch. He strikes out 3 of the 5 that he saw. Trevor Rosenthal is getting loose in the Cardinals pen. Outstanding work done by Martinez. There he is with his buddy Oscar Taveras. Those two came over together today early to the ballpark. And both have had a big say in this game. Taveras a 2-run homer. And some key outs recorded by Martinez.
This is second inning of work. Let's get Johnny Peralta's 1500 hit right here. Because of the work of Martinez and because Rosenthal had yesterday off, and obviously, you know, he's the elite closer, but he'll get the 9th inning, and you know, maybe tomorrow you go back and you have Neshek in the 8th and a save by Rosenthal, but there can be times down the stretch if you have Martinez doing what he's doing, then you can have Neshek to close out a game if Rosenthal needs a rest.
Or use either one in the 7th.
Right.
You know, you become a dominant bullpen 7, 8, and 9, which they were a year ago. Looking to pick up great seats to the game, StubHub, a great way to do it. 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Cardinal tickets. All in pricing, no surprise fees at checkout. StubHub, it's your ticket to upgrades and more. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, Gene Segura will lead it off. Be the bottom of the lineup. Cardinals have struck out 9 times tonight. They have 4 hits, and yet they lead it 5-3. They've committed 3 errors.
And it bears repeating once again, because the Cardinals flirt with danger. They've scored 397 runs during the 1 through 6. That's about big league average. But the Cardinals have only scored 146 runs after the 6th inning. That's the worst in all of baseball.
A broken bat, slowly hit. Molina not running. And Segura just steps and throws and makes the play. He did not run that out at all.
He got jammed badly, and I think he thought that the pitcher was going to get it. But you see right there, he put his head down and shaking the hand out. Looks bad when you don't hustle.
Hand may hurt, but his leg should.
No, that's what you say, severely getting in your kitchen.
We'll step aside with 2 outs here in the ninth. The St. Louis Cardinals, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. The lefty that came over in the Norichika Aoki deal is Will Smith in our Chevy called to the pen.
Had a tremendous start to the season, almost unhittable, but for whatever reason, the second part of the season they've been catching up to him.
Now, the one thing about Molina not running that ball out, you have to remember he has been dealing with a bad hand, so you get concerned about that. I'm sure that was his initial concern, like, uh-oh, here we go.
I mean, he got jammed severely, and remember that thumb, it's the right hand, and remember there is a minimal risk. That was supposed to be an 8 to 12 week injury. He's like in his, what, 8th or 9th week now. Choking up on the bat, and watch him come in there and takes the hand off and shakes it out. So
yeah, that's the bad hand.
Yep. And I mean, I think that's priority over running.
No doubt. Davis is over and makes the catch. We head to the bottom of the ninth. 5-3 St. Louis. The game, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. We saw Tony Cruz put his equipment on just in case, and Molina trying to gut it out. One more inning here tonight.
Just how important, if you do have a base runner, and say it's Segura, the leadoff hitter, how important it is to keep him from stealing. And nobody throws like Yachty.
Or Carlos Gomez that would come off the bench too.
Correct. One of the things, you know, it's his right thumb that had the ligament damage, tore it off, and had to have the surgery. But also his left thumb has taken quite a beating just from sometimes catching balls awkwardly.
First pitch, fly ball, right field. Randall Grichuk, one away. That all-important first out. Rosenthal trying to make it save number 43 and break a tie with he and Craig Kimbrell.
Well, you know,
coming into action today.
And when you can swing at that first pitch and get him out, or how big that is. And usually, if you get the first batter out, you're going to have a clean inning.
Elian Herrera. They also have Logan Schaefer, who hits from the left side. Herrera is a switch hitter.
In my mind right now, with Trevor's changeup, bring on the left-handed batters.
The propensity to go to that changeup an awful lot recently, too.
And, yeah, with the left-handed hitter. Herrera 0 for 3 against him.
Team record is 47 saves. Jason Isringhausen, Lee Smith, the single season record holders for saves in Cardinals history. If things go right the Cardinals' way, you would think Rosenthal shatters that mark. This could be number 43 tonight. He's 2 outs away. You have a chance to at least earn a split in the series and a potential win if they hold on with Wainwright going in game 4. Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
Change up right there. And he keeps that ball down like that. It's really tough to hit. By about 10, 11 miles an hour differential from his fastball. Good arm action.
And he went. So says Jordan Baker. The bench of the Brewers can't believe it. May have been a called third strike. It didn't go Rosenthal's way, but the check swing did. 2 down.
Well, you can see why he called it. When you see from this angle, it's always going to appear like it goes, but that's too far. So good call.
1 out away. The Cardinals hold on. They're 4 games in front.
Ricky Weeks 1 for 5. A home run off of Trevor Rosenthal.
First pitch by the Cardinals closer. Line drive, slicing, fair, down into the corner. The tying run will come to the plate.
And Ricky Weeks gets his 1,000th hit. Career 1,000 hit. Put it up on the board here. A milestone, but Rosenthal and the Cardinals are looking for a bigger. They're looking for the win.
Parra will be the hitter. And a nice round of applause for Ricky Weeks.
1 for 5. Well, you see pitch up and away. Doesn't get his bat in, but hits it fair down to the right field for the double. There's 1,000th hit. Parra 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts when facing Rosenthal.
He has a double. He has struck out, walked, and grounded out. 8 home runs this year. First pitch taken for a ball. A pennant race, September. This is what it's all about.
Get this final out in very few pitches, less than just 10 pitches.
Boy, that's nasty right there. We have seen the Cardinals bullpen from Freeman to Martinez to what we see now out of Rosenthal, Sharp.
You see this changeup, the arm action and everything, and from 98 to 86, it's hard to. You got to look fastball, and you can't break it down to that changeup when it's down.
1-1 is tapped out in front of the plate, and this should do it. Molina fires to first, and the Cardinals have at least earned a split here in Milwaukee. They're back to 4 games up in the Central. They'll try to win this series with Wainwright going tomorrow in Game 4.
And this is a game that how did the Cardinals win it? They only had 4 hits. They commit 3 errors. They go 0 for their last 15. They only score in 2 innings, and yet they pull out a 5-3 victory against a very good ball club.
It's on to the post-game show. Rick and Pat standing by. The lead is back to 4 for St. Louis.